Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be my movie review for Jurassic World Dominion. This is a movie that I really wanted to like, and unfortunately I did not like it that much. I still had fun watching the movie, but it was very weird because this felt like two different movies, and I know a lot of other reviewers have been saying the same thing. They've been saying that this is the final Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, Jurassic franchise movie for probably another 10-15 years, and then they'll reboot it or just pick up with some new characters. But anyways, essentially what I'm trying to say is this movie was supposed to be a big deal, like getting the original cast from the first trilogy and then the new cast from the new trilogy and just making it a great film overall, combining the two eras. Like on paper it just sounds awesome, and to be honest it should have been a little bit easier to execute, but they just didn't do it that well. So the reason why it feels like two different movies is because it's almost like the original cast from the first trilogy has their own movie, and then the new trilogy with Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard has their own film, and then in the final part of the movie they combine. And the way that they did it felt a little bit clunky. It was kind of like we're watching one movie and then it just abruptly stops and goes to the other movie, and then it just keeps jumping across from one another, and then they eventually just meet up in the end. The way they did it was just super clunky and awkward, but it was still entertaining for the most part. I didn't really like the original trilogy story and how they were brought into this movie. It just was very weird. It involves like an evil corporation run by Tim Cook. It's literally like his twin. If you guys don't know who Tim Cook is, that's the CEO of Apple, and it's just like striking how similar the actor playing this villain is compared to the CEO. It is just scary how much they look like each other. Like, I was honestly just waiting for this villain in this movie to just whip out an iPhone, and that would have just sealed the deal. Even in this film too, this evil organization has this facility that almost looks like Apple Park, which is the headquarters of Apple. I don't know if they were trying to do that, but they definitely succeeded in making those comparisons. But yeah, the original trilogy story was just very weird. It involves locusts, and it's just, yeah, I don't know what they were thinking with that storyline. And then the Jurassic World trilogy characters were brought in I would say a better way, but it was almost kind of lazy too. It involves kidnapping, and then Owen Grady and Claire have to be involved in this film, so it was kind of lazy, but I think it worked for the most part. One other complaint that I have with their story, like Owen Grady and Claire, is that it almost, turned into like Fast and Furious levels of just insanity. Owen and Claire are essentially becoming like secret agents going on missions around the world and everything, and it was just really strange. And I know Chris Pratt is like that stereotypical like army adventure kind of actor right now, but it was just really weird to see it in a dinosaur movie. Like, this is a Jurassic movie, and to bring elements of like Owen Grady working with the CIA and like going around the world and stopping smugglers and all this kind of stuff, it just really felt like Fast and Furious levels of crazy, which some people might really like and some people might really hate. With these Jurassic movies, I like the simplicity. I think it just makes it a lot better. And that brings me to another big negative that I had with the movie. The title of the film is literally Jurassic World Dominion, which means like together. And at the end of the last movie, that's when the dinosaurs basically went to modern world and they were living among us in cities and everything. And we got a little glimpse of that in the first maybe 10-15 minutes of this movie, Jurassic World Dominion, which is how they were marketing the movie. They were basically saying like this movie is going to be the dinosaurs living with the people in the real world, not on a little island just, segregated from everything. And that's not the case, unfortunately. We got that really cool concept of a movie with the dinosaurs living among us, like pterodactyls making nests in skyscrapers and everything. We got like a stegosaurus walking across a highway and then cars falling off and getting into accidents and just crazy stuff like that. That's what I wanted to see in this movie, how the dinosaurs live with humans and wildlife and all of that kind of stuff. Just a really cool concept. And we only got that for like a few minutes, and then they went right back to the whole like, oh, the dinosaurs are on an island and there's a facility and there's evil people and the heroes have to save them. And that's literally what we've seen for multiple movies now, and I thought they were really going to make this movie different, and unfortunately they didn't. And especially with a name like Dominion, like, it just blew my mind how much we didn't really see any Dominion. But whatever, it's in the past now, I guess. Now quickly, I just want to talk about some of the individual characters in this movie. So the first one that I want to talk about is Alan Grant. I thought He didn't really need to be in the movie, but I'm glad that he was in the movie. He's one of my favorite characters in the Jurassic films, and I was just glad that he was in this one. To be honest, now that I look back, he didn't really do anything that significant. He was more just kind of there because he was an original cast member, but that's fine. I'm just glad he wasn't just a quick cameo, because the original cast is basically in the movie almost as much as the new cast, which I really liked that they did it like this. Then we have Laura Dern reprising her role as Ellie Sattler. I thought she did really good in this film. She definitely had a more significant role than Ellen Grant in this movie, and I thought she did a phenomenal job, and her character was really interesting. Then we have Jeff Goldblum as Dr. Ian Malcolm. I thought he was really good in the film too. He didn't really have a whole lot to do either, but he brought a bit of comedy to the movie, which was nice. I would say like 70% of the movie when I was laughing, it was because of something that he said. So I'm glad that he was in the movie, because otherwise I probably wouldn't have laughed almost ever. Bryce Dallas Howard as Claire Deering. She was actually really good in this film. She had a lot more to do. She's trying to like rescue and save dinosaurs from like black market dealers and everything, which I thought was really interesting. She's taking up a role as a mother too, and just seeing her relationship with Owen Grady, which I still don't think is that good. I just don't really see the chemistry. It's kind of just, you know, we have these two characters, let's just, you know, put them together, but there's no actual like sparks that are flying there. But to be honest, Claire and Owen Grady aren't really together that much in this movie, and whenever they are, they kind of just hug each other and kiss each other, and that's pretty much it. Now, a new character that I really liked in this movie was Kayla Watts, played by DeWanda Wise. She's basically a smuggler for dinosaurs. People pay her a bunch of money to just transport them to different locations. Really cool character, really cool concept, and something that we haven't seen in the Jurassic franchise so far. Then the last character that I want to talk about is Ramsey Cole, who works alongside Dr. Ian Malcolm. This character was very good in the film too. Very cool, calm, collected, and just really interesting. You don't really know whose side he's on, and he has some really great character choices and lines too. Thoroughly enjoyed this character, and a great addition to the Jurassic franchise. Now there's two more things that I want to talk about in this review, and the first thing is the action scenes, because I thought they were actually done really well. I would say 80% of them were really good, and then 20% was just kind of shaky cam and wasn't that great. But for the most part, a lot of these action scenes were new and unique. We got raptors chasing Owen Grady on a motorcycle, we got pterodactyl-like dinosaurs taking down planes, and just a whole bunch of really cool scenes like that, and I really enjoyed the action. And this movie gives you a lot of action. I found in some Jurassic movies they give you like a bit, but this was like a little bit over the top. Like, I honestly don't even think they needed that much action in this movie, but for the most part it was really solid, and I think a lot of people are gonna really enjoy those scenes. Then the last thing that I want to talk about in the review is the like human cloning aspect to this whole thing, because I don't really care about it, and they didn't really explain it that well either, because if you guys didn't know, the girl from the last movie, Maisie Lockwood, there's a whole storyline with the human genetics and all of that, but I think most people won't really care about that because they want to see a Jurassic movie for the dinosaurs, obviously. So whenever they're talking about human cloning and genetics, I was just like, I don't really care. Like, I totally get why they would introduce that, because like they're playing around with genetics and dinosaurs. It was just inevitable that it was going to go over to human genetics, but at the same time, I don't think anybody really cares. So it kind of baffled me how they made it so important, like this girl and her genetics and her backstory and all of that kind of stuff, when people just don't really want to watch it. I thought the actress playing Maisie Lockwood did a pretty good job, but unfortunately that's just a character that most people don't really want to go see this movie for. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Jurassic World Dominion. In my opinion, it was just a very big missed opportunity. Like, they had the perfect setup to make a movie about dinosaurs in modern world, like pterodactyls on top of the skyscrapers and dinosaurs in the streets, T-Rexes roaming different areas, giant dinosaurs underwater while people are surfing and everything. Like, they had just the greatest opportunity to make such a different type of movie, and they didn't, and it just really sucked. Like, halfway through the film, I was like, why are they doing this? They literally set this up perfectly, and they just didn't execute. But whatever, I'm gonna give this movie a final rating of 6 out of 10. I think a lot lot of people are gonna go see this movie expecting it to be bad because of the Rotten Tomatoes score and everything, but I think you're gonna be surprised of how much you actually enjoy watching it. It's obviously not that great of a film. There's just a lot of storylines going on, and a lot of them don't really make sense and have a lot of questions that go unanswered, but it is still a fun popcorn movie. Like, just sit there, just turn your brain off, watch some dinosaurs run around, break stuff, and eat people, and yeah, that's really all I can say about this movie. It's just not that good, but it's not that bad. So guys, do you agree with my rating, or did you really like it or really hate it? Let me know down below in the comments, and if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you like and subscribe. Thank you again for watching this review. I hope you guys all have a great day, and I will see you guys in the next video.